Alrighty then. Good day. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome back to our weekly live stream. This week we are going to talk about English pronunciation tips. So as you join, please don't forget to like and share the video. And as always, we have free stuff for everybody. You can get free PDF lessons from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. We're going to wait a couple minutes so other people can join, and then we're going to begin. Today's lesson, I'm going to cover three kind of big topics. I'm going to talk about voiced and unvoiced sounds and how to understand the difference. I'm going to talk about vowel sounds with lots of examples, and then I'm going to talk about something called minimal pairs. So today's lesson will be focused on pronunciation, and the pronunciation will be American English pronunciation. This is American English pronunciation, not British English. So British English will have some different pronunciations, especially vowel pronunciations. So we're going to start in just a moment. I think we are waiting. Facebook, hi everybody. I see you on Facebook. Sunday and Marina and Co. Ling Fang, Naozad. Hello everybody there. YouTube, is YouTube okay? I just see big. Okay, YouTube's cool. Hi, so send a comment when you arrive. We'll get started in just a moment. In the meantime, I have one announcement to share. If you checked the channel last week on Friday, maybe you saw this. We have a big announcement. We have officially launched YouTube memberships. So YouTube memberships are like a special way to support the English Class 101 channel in our case. And part of our membership is you get emojis in our membership. So if there are members in the live stream chat, you can use these emojis right now. So they are me. I can't believe it. It's kind of crazy. But this is part of the membership, the YouTube membership on our channel. So if you want some more details, please check out the join video on the English Class 101 YouTube channel to find out more about memberships. I see everybody on YouTube now. Hi there, thanks for coming. Oh yeah, our chat desk just sent a bunch of the emojis in the YouTube chat. Hi everybody. There's Nguyen and King and Quiet, Chio, Rafael, Rosine, Carlos, Nemesio, Ashraf. Hi everybody, thanks very much for joining. Great. Lots of people. Okay, I think we have everybody ready now. So again, today's topic is English pronunciation tips. We really appreciate it if you like and share the video so other people can find it. I'm going to share the video, and then I am going to start the lesson. Okay, so let's get started. Today I'm going to begin by explaining the difference between voiced and unvoiced sounds. Voiced and unvoiced sounds. What are these things? So let's get started. Voiced and unvoiced sounds are the two sounds, the two types of sound that we can create. So how do we know if a sound is voiced or unvoiced? This is a tip that you can use when you practice your pronunciation. So when you make a sound, touch your throat as you make the sound. So for example, like ah is a sound. If you touch your throat and you feel vibration. So vibration is like the movement. Your vocal cords, the parts of your body inside your throat, move to make the sound. If you touch your throat and you feel that vibration, that's a voiced sound, We call it a voiced sound. So like ah is a voiced sound. E, those are voiced sounds. If, however, you make the sound and there is no vibration, for example, like an H sound or like an F sound, there's no vibration there, that's an unvoiced sound, So these are the two sounds, or the two types, voiced and unvoiced sounds. This is how you can decide, is this a voiced sound I'm making, or is this an unvoiced sound I'm making? So when you're practicing your pronunciation at home, if you're not sure, you can use this to check, voiced or unvoiced. So I want to use this to begin today's lesson by practicing a sound that is difficult for many learners. The TH sound, TH, there are two ways to make a TH sound. TH is a little bit special. It has a voiced and an unvoiced version. So voiced TH sounds, so that means we use our vocal cords to make the sound, are words like these: this, those, although, neither, other. So these THs are voiced THs, this. So when you make this sound, you should put your tongue between your teeth a little bit. Think, this, that. That's true for both of these. So put your tongue between your teeth to make the TH sound. Be careful, not S sound. Many learners say, like, for example, zis, so maybe a Z sound, or sink instead of think, something like that. Actually, that's an unvoiced. I'll talk about it in a minute. But make sure that you're not making a Z sound or an S sound with this. So to do that, put your tongue between your teeth to practice and make a th sound, or the sound. This is a voiced TH. So these words are kind of what we think of as structure words. So we use these words to help us make the grammar of the sentence. So these words are like connecting words, for example, or they're like kind of helping words in many cases. These words don't tell us a lot of information about the content. So in most cases, usually these kinds of TH are voiced TH sounds, voiced TH sounds. So again, this, those, although, and you can touch your throat again to see if you're making a voiced sound or an unvoiced sound. Neither, other. Let's compare this then to unvoiced TH sounds, unvoiced TH sounds. So an unvoiced TH sound, we do not use our vocal cords to make this sound. It's words like think, bath, theater, everything. So here, I'm not using my vocal cords. I'm making like an air sound only. It's hard to hear. Can you hear that? So think, bath. Again, make sure this, especially the unvoiced TH sound, this should not be an S, so not sink. So when I make the S sound, sink, my teeth are together, sink. That's not correct. Put your tongue between your teeth, or when you get more comfortable, like native speakers do, we quickly touch our tongue to the back of our teeth to make the th sound, think. So think, bath. Again, bath, not bass, where my teeth are together, but bath. So focus on that position for your mouth. Think, bath, theater. So no vocal cord use here. Theater, theater, just air to make this TH sound. So it's very quick, very short. These are unvoiced TH sounds. You'll notice these words are like content words. So with these words, we understand like the action, as in think, or it's a noun, bath or theater. So these words are giving us information, key information about the sentence. These are unvoiced TH sounds. Voiced TH sounds are our structure words, so they're helping us to make the sentence. Unvoiced words are giving us the information about the sentence. So these are our first sounds. I will come back to this at the end of today's lesson a little bit to review. So this is how I want to begin today's lesson. Please think of this voiced and unvoiced tip, especially for consonant sounds. A reminder, consonant sounds are the letters. Consonant sounds are the letters other than A, E, I, O, U, Y, those sorts of letters. So this is important for your consonant sounds when you're making consonant sounds. Yes, it is really live. Okay, let's get started, let's go to a break then. Let's go to a quick break. So today, as always, we have free stuff. But I know today is a pronunciation lesson, so I think if you want to focus on your pronunciation, it's maybe a good idea to begin with words that are important to you, so you can practice with the words that you are actually going to use. So you can choose, if you check the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook, there are lots of free PDFs. Oh, are we going to go over here? Or no? Okay. So there are lots of free PDFs that you can download. This one's about like romance and relationships. This one's about food, my personal favorite maybe. So there are lots of vocabulary words here and phrases for going to like a restaurant in this case, or for food and so on. So I would suggest if there's a topic that you are interested in, like pets or animals and so on, choose one of these or a few of these and use these to practice your pronunciation. So this is about your pets, for example, types of pets. That's a good pronunciation. Siamese cat, that S sound. So choose a couple of these to work on your pronunciation. Choose something that you use in your daily life or that you know you are going to use more in the future. So I think this would be good for your pronunciation practice, using the words you're actually going to use for your studies. So you can find that from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram, please check YouTube or Facebook if you're watching on Instagram. Okay, so yes, we do. We have a second camera that sometimes is in our live stream. Okay, good. And if you have any questions, please send them in the live stream chat throughout the lesson as well. I will try to check. All right, let's carry on. So if you're just joining, today's topic is English pronunciation tips. So I'm going to continue to the second part, vowels, but please don't forget to like and share the video if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's go along to part two. I'll stand here for now. Part 2, I want to focus on vowels for part 2, vowels. So vowels are the other group of letters. I talked about consonants briefly with voiced and unvoiced sounds. Consonants are the letters other than vowels. Vowels are the A, E, I, O, U, and schwa, which I'll talk about. So here I have a list of example words that use the different sounds for each vowel. So let's go through one by one and listen to how we make these sounds and think about how to make these sounds more clearly. Let's begin with A. A. So there are many A sounds I want to talk about in this lesson. First, let's look at this word, mad. Mad. Mad, this is a short A sound, mad. So we make the short A sound when A comes before a consonant, like at the end of a word, and it's not followed by E. So mad or dad or bad, that ah sound, that's the short A sound. Compare this to this A sound, date, date. This A sound, this is the long A sound, date. So we make this long A sound when we have a consonant and an E after the consonant. So date or mate or late. This is one of the rules for making the long A sound. Another A sound we have is this one in autumn. Autumn. Autumn has this sort of ah sound. Ah. It's not quite an O sound. It's like A-W almost. Ah, ah. So autumn, autumn. A common spelling for this sound is A-U, A-U, autumn, autumn. So those are three different sounds. So mad, date, autumn, a, those three. 2 points for those of you, I know many of you struggle with the R sound, So let's focus on A to R. So starting from an A sound, going to an R sound, like art. Art, art. So this A sound goes slowly, art, to an R sound. And when you make the R sound, your tongue should not touch anything in your mouth. Art, art. Your tongue is just like relaxed kind of in your mouth, art. So art, and a different A to R sound is in a word like chair, chair. So here, it's just like air, air. So chair, chair. So these are 5 different A sounds to think about here. Mad, date, autumn, art, chair. Okay, let's move on then to E sounds and compare the differences between these. So the first E sound is met, met, met. This is a short E, That's the short E sound, is met. The second E sound, this is the long E sound, heat, heat, heat. So this is one spelling, heat, E-A, but be careful, not all words spelled with E-A are pronounced with a long E sound. For example, bear, B-E-A-R, that's pronounced bear, bear. So heat is pronounced differently. So be careful, there are some exceptions to this. But sometimes the E-A spelling is pronounced with this long E, heat, heat. Finally, again, another vowel to R sound, cheer, cheer. So, ear, ear. You can imagine this as like this part of your body, the ear, ear. So we're moving to that R sound. Again, when you make this R, ear, your tongue is just, it's like at this angle inside your mouth. So it's hard to see. It's like this in your mouth. So there's nothing like touching your tongue when you make the R sound, Your tongue is kind of back in the mouth a little bit too. So cheer, chair, cheer, chair, A, E sound. With that in mind, let's continue on to I as well. I sounds. Again, short I sound. Lip, lip, I. So this is the short I, lip. Again, you'll see here with these short sounds, the vowel comes before a consonant at the end of a word. Mad, met, lip. These short sounds are just before a consonant at the end of a word. The long I sound, lie, 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 is here, lie. So you'll see this with like a vowel sound at the end of a word. For example, like pile as well. So there's an E at the end of the word, sometimes with a consonant here too, as in my example, pile too. Okay. Others, okay, I'm checking your questions and comments in the chat. This is an interesting I sound. It's foil, foil. I've put this in the I sound. It's like an O and I together. Oil, oil. This is what's called a diphthong. So a diphthong is when we move from one sound to another sound in the same syllable. Foil, foil. That's called a diphthong. So foil, foil. You may hear this with words spelled with O-I-L, like oil or boil as well too, oil. Someone says, how do you say though, like that, though? Yeah, lots of people have trouble with world, world. It's that RL transition, world. Break that down into 3 parts, world, and try practicing those individually to begin with, and then try to connect those. Okay, let's go on to O. There's a lot to talk about here. O. First is the short O sound, box, box. So again, before a consonant at the end, So box, that's the short O sound, box. Second is the long O sound, mode, mode. So again, we see O, in this case O, comes before a consonant followed by E at the end of a word. Mode, mode. So O is the long O sound. A is the short O sound. A, O. Let's look now at this one though. This is sound, sound. So sound, this is similar to this AU sound. I talked about autumn, autumn. It's like an ah sound, like AW almost. This is similar, ow, ow. The spelling here is sound, S-O-U-N-D. So there's an O-U spelling, but please be careful. This is different from words like should, or could, or would, should, could. This is different from these words, but sometimes you will hear this OU pronounced as an ow sound. In these cases, it's pronounced as an ud sound, should, would. So please be careful. The spelling rules and pronunciation are quite tricky, and I'll talk more about this in the future. Finally, this sound here, for. This is another example of a different sound with this OU spelling. Sound for. Those are totally different sounds, right? But the spelling is similar. So try to remember, it takes some practice, of course, and reading and listening practice. But remembering these words that have kind of these different spelling and pronunciation rules will help you to become a more fluent and natural speaker, I think. Okay, with that then, let's move on to the last vowel and then our kind of tricky vowel too. Let's go to U. So U, our short U sound is here. Cut, that's our short U sound. Long U sound. Here, not even a U. This is an E. N-E-W. New. That's a long U sound. But the spelling does not use a U. So this is a great example. You'll also hear it in a word like you. That's a long U sound. So there are different spellings. Short U, long U, new. Let's look at this one though. This one, many of you have asked about this. The double O sound. This is a very tricky sound. Tricky means difficult. This is a tricky sound because there are many pronunciations for this spelling. So here, good. Not good, but good. This is the pronunciation. Let's compare this to these two words. Flood and blood. So same spelling, O-O, different pronunciation. Compare good with flood, blood, good. So and here, different pronunciations. Continuing this group then, boot, B-O-O-T, boot, moon, spoon. Again, different. So here we have good, and here we have and here we have oo. There are three different pronunciations here. Finally, floor. So there are four here. I've introduced four different pronunciations for this spelling. The O-O spelling is tough, I know, and it's one that with practice and with time, you'll start to remember the most common, the common words that use these different pronunciations. So I chose a few today, but there are more. So this is an important spelling to be careful of in your reading and in your listening too. Okay. Finally, I do want to mention the word cure. Cure here. Cure. This is an interesting U sound. That cure, Q. It sounds like the letter Q, but we pronounce it in this word as cure. So please be careful of this U sound as well. So this is a very quick introduction to all the sounds we make, or most of them, with vowels. Please keep in mind that there are many different ways to pronounce these vowel sounds, or rather many different spellings for pronouncing these vowel sounds. Let's end this part with this one, what's called the schwa. The schwa, I didn't include it in this part because the schwa is sort of like in the middle of all of these verbs. The schwa is a special vowel sound because we use it in unstressed syllables. So what does that mean? In English, we have stress. We have this rhythm to our speech. For example, the word beautiful, that has 3 syllables, 3 beats in the word. Beautiful, yeah? So beautiful. But when we say it, we have stress. So that means one part is stronger than the other parts. Beautiful. This is how native speakers say this word. Beautiful. So beau has the highest amount of stress, the most stress. T has no stress. Full has a little bit of stress. So there are 3 different levels of stress in English that give it kind of this rhythm. So beautiful has this schwa sound. Unstressed syllables, no stress on the word, take this schwa pronunciation. Here, t, that's the schwa sound. It. That's what it sounds like, beautiful. So, because this doesn't follow a spelling rule, it follows a stress rule, we see it in many words. For example, here, in this word, separate, separate. So we don't say separate in everyday speech. This A right here becomes a schwa, separate, separate, separate. So it's a very quick, short sound. That's the schwa. It's not like any other vowel. Another example, this A in again, that sound, again, that's a schwa. One more, this E in camera, we don't say the E sound in camera. In fast speech, we say camera, camera. It's that again. This is called the schwa. The rule is to use it for unstressed syllables. So listen to the stress, how much emphasis is being put on the word, and you can find out where the schwa should go. Okay, we'll take, I guess, one more super quick break, and then we'll go to the very last short part of today's lesson. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we have free stuff, as always, for you from the link below the video on YouTube, above the video on Facebook. I showed on the other camera a couple of these already. I mentioned for today's lesson, which is about pronunciation, I was thinking it's a good idea to practice your pronunciation with words you are going to use. So I showed like food and pet related PDFs, vocabulary and phrase cheat sheets. These are PDFs you can download. I'll show you a couple more. For travelers, especially maybe business travelers, or I guess for fun, hotel-related words. So this is hotel vocabulary. And on the back are sentences that you can use in a hotel. So some of the pronunciation points we are talking about today are included here. Another example is shopping. So if you like shopping and you want to practice shopping words in English, please check out this PDF. So there are lots of vocabulary words and phrases that you can use. And I think it's a good way to practice your pronunciation using the words that are important to you. So please check these out. Check these out. Am I over here? Please check these out. You can find these from below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. Okay, let's move along to the last part of today's lesson then. The last part of today's lesson, I'm going to focus on some very common points of difficulty for learners and a few ideas for how you can fix those. So, let's take a look. I want to look at what are called minimal pairs. Minimal pairs. After this lesson, if you want to know more, search for minimal pairs in English. A minimal pair is a pair of words, 2 words. They have the same maybe spelling or the same sound except for just one sound. Just one sound is different. This is called a minimal pair. A minimal pair. So some common what should I say? These are some minimal pairs that many learners have trouble with. Let's begin with this group, L and R minimal pairs, L and R. I have 3 examples. First pair is glass and grass. Glass and grass. So here the difference is this L sound and the R sound, glass and grass. The second one, fly and fry. Fly and fry. Again, L sound and R sound are different here. Finally, rice and lice. Rice and lice. Lice is a bug that you find in your hair if you don't shower enough. It's bad. Lice. So again, R and L sounds. So these are difficult because many students have trouble making the L sound and the R sound differently. Like they sound the same. So a tip to help you make these sounds more clearly is to focus on your L sound. So I talked earlier, the R sound, your tongue should not touch anything inside your mouth. So when you make the R sound, your tongue is like just inside your mouth in the center of your mouth, just not touching anything. However, the L sound, when you make the L sound, your tongue should touch the top of your mouth. So you can exaggerate it. L. And then when you make the sound, release your tongue. L. Glass or fly or lice. So practice making the L sound very clearly. L. Your tongue has to touch the top of your mouth and then release it outward. L. L. Practice making that sound so we can clearly hear a difference between your L sound and your R sound. This is one tip that I hope can help lots of people from lots of countries. I know many different languages have different kinds of struggles, but this is one that many people, I think, have trouble with. So please try that to improve your L pronunciation. I know it feels strange at first, but it's correct. Like my students often giggle when I would tell them, like, make this sound, the TH sound, put your tongue between your teeth. They do it and it's perfect, but they laugh because they feel uncomfortable, but it's correct. It's correct. So don't feel embarrassed. It's the correct sound. So this is a tip for L and R sounds. As I mentioned, this S and TH minimal pair is another one that's difficult for many students. So let's look. Bus, bus. Bath, bath. So this isn't a true minimal pair. There are two sounds that are different. But bus, here we have a vowel sound change. Bus and bath. So vowel sound changes, yes. So actually there are two sounds different here. But the S sound, bus, is different from the bath sound. This is an unvoiced TH sound. We talked about this at the beginning of the lesson. Bath, bath. Bus, bath. So make sure your S sound is different from your TH sound. As I said at the beginning of the lesson, your S sound, your teeth should be together. Bus. To make the bath sound, your tongue should be between your teeth. Bus, bath. Bus, bath. Finally, sink and think. So many of my students have trouble with this or had trouble with this. The S and TH here, sink, sink. Your teeth are together to make the S sound. A sink is a place where you wash your hands, yeah? Think is the verb. I think. So students share their opinion. I think. Your tongue needs to be between your teeth. Think to say this correctly. Sink, teeth together. Think, tongue between your teeth. So practice these two. Finally, last point for today, sorry I'm late, last point for today is vowel minimal pairs and similar. Not a perfect minimal pair here. But these two I hear a lot, and I've seen in your comments as well, questions about these words. So the first one, it's kind of hard to see. The first pair here is woman and women. Woman, W-O-M-A-N, and women, woman, women. Spelling is very similar, but we actually changed this O sound and the ending vowel sound. Woman, women. Woman, women. So woman, singular. Women is the plural. So be careful of this vowel sound. Similarly with man and men. Man and men. So your vowel sound changes here. Man, men. And lastly, someone asked in the chat, I just saw it, was about this one, this pair. So many students have trouble with this one. You are not alone. It is work. Work versus walk. Work and walk, walk. In American English, they have very different pronunciations. In British English, perhaps they are more similar, but in American English, work, there's a clear R sound, and this O is pronounced work, work. W-A-L-K, to walk, to walk. Your vowel sound is very different. Wa, wa. It's a tall A, like wa sound. And we don't really pronounce this L, walk. We don't say walk, we say walk, walk. So focus on your vowel sound here. Work, walk. Quite different. Someone said, can I say think instead of think? We do not use the think pronunciation in American English. You might hear that in British English and Australian English, but no, American English speakers do not use the think pronunciation, So I would say no. I would say no, unless you're studying British English. So these are some practice points, and today I talked about a few examples and ways to hopefully improve your pronunciation. Okay, I have to finish. I'm 6 minutes late. Sorry. Let's finish there. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll be back next week. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to make English sentences. This was a viewer request, actually. I'm going to talk about word order, So please join us next week, April 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. Please join us for how to make English sentences. Don't forget to get your free stuff that I talked about from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. It is free, so please practice your pronunciation with those words you are going to use. Good luck with that. If you have questions, comments, whatever, send them in the chat. I will check it out, and we'll finish there for today. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your day, enjoy your night, have a nice weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.